Welcome back to another campfire cooking video up here in the woods. I've done most of the wood prep and I've already got the campfire on the go, and later on we're going to be cooking up a smoky beef and chorizo goulash in the Dutch oven over the campfire, so stay tuned for that. I'll probably get it on in maybe half an hour once the fire's ready, so I'll take you through the ingredients. Well, until then I'm probably going to have a wander around the woods and maybe he's even open a beer. We'll see. So I'll quickly take you through the ingredients here for this goulash. So we've got 500 grams of diced beef shin. I'd always recommend you use fattier cuts of meat for a stew like this and stay clear of the extra lean stuff. We've got salt and pepper, smoked paprika, we've got 1 beef stock cube, garlic, an onion, a pot of sour cream to serve the stew with. Then we've got chorizo, this is a smoky and spicy one. Then we've got 4 large tomatoes, a 400 gram tin of chopped tomatoes, tomato puree, 1 red pepper and some flat leaf parsley. I do have some flour which I'll coat the beef in before I fry it, and that'll just help thicken the stew slightly. And we're going to serve it up with some olive bread here, but I'm guessing the traditional way is to serve it with mashed potato. So this is everything that's going into the goulash, apart from a cup of red wine which I'll chuck in later on. So I'm just going to get the Dutch oven nice and low to start off with, just to fry off the onions and the beef. Get a lot of oil in there. So I'll just fry these onions off for a few moments. In the meantime, I'm going to open a beer. This is a Hobgoblin Ruby beer in a pint can, nice and chilled. Cheers everyone. Just going to crumble this stock cube over the meat. Gone heavy with the paprika, bit of salt in there. I'll whack some pepper in a moment. So we've got the garlic in there. I've put some water in, a tin of tomatoes. I'm going to get the chorizo in now, and then some fresh tomatoes. So we're going to put some wine in. My advice is don't use a really nice bottle of wine, just get some house wine and get a good glug of that in. Well, that's that done. Trish is here now. She's been busy in the woods doing stuff, and she's just got herself a little bit of the Hobgoblin Ruby beer, which is pretty nice. What do you reckon, Trish?
Yeah, it's nice.
That's all right. 4.5%. Perfect beer for autumn. So yeah, we'll give that a couple of hours, and we've got a nice bottle of wine to go with this meal. We've got one of the wines we picked up in France. It's a Haut Medoc. Now I believe that the Medoc region produces the world's most expensive wines. This bottle isn't one of them, mind. I think it was €6.5. So we'll be having that later, which I'm looking forward to. One of the problems with doing these campfire cooking videos, usually in winter when you do most of them, is that it gets dark at 4 o'clock, so you can't really film the end product. This should be ready at 5:30, so hopefully you'll get to see it. As it's not, what time does it get dark?
It's about 8.
Yeah, 7:30, 8.
We haven't
No, it must be
moved.
before
We
that.
haven't moved yet.
It's about 7 o'clock, I think.
7 o'clock.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, I've got a new bit of kit for my camera. I've got like a gimbal for my DSLR, which I'm filming with now. It's always a bit of a hassle when you use this camera. It's great quality in that, but Setting up the tripod takes a bit of a while, so I bought this gimbal, and I'm just going to put the camera on now and go and show you the forest and see if we can get some nice steady footage with it. Well, I think this is about done now. 6 o'clock. It's been cooking for 3 hours. Well folks, here's the taste test. Grab a nice chunk of beef, bit of sour cream, oh that's lovely. Oh, I'm getting are you getting any spice coming through from the chorizo?
Yeah.
Oh, that is fantastic. Still piping hot, mind, isn't it? Well folks, it's gone 8 o'clock now. I'm just enjoying the dying embers of this campfire and the dying embers of this bottle of French red wine. But I've got a light on top of my camera and it's like really annoying, so if I'm like squinting a bit, that's why. But Triss is in the shed. She's got the wood burner on in there trying to dry the place out a little bit. And yeah, we had the tawny owls come through earlier on. It's that time of year where they start fighting for territory so they don't have mega racket. And we've had something walking around this perimeter of the camp barking. It didn't sound like a dog, so I'm pretty sure it's a roe deer, even though I've never heard them bark in these woodlands before. I've heard them up in Scotland bark, but not this far south, so that's a first. But yeah, the meal, oh fantastic, that goulash was spot on. I think adding the smoky and spicy chorizo really added something to it. If I was going to make it again, I'd probably ease up on the tomato a little bit. I didn't put any tomato puree in the end because it was just looking a little bit too tomatoey, when I make that again, I'll just use a tin of tomatoes and not even bother with the fresh tomatoes. Or I'll use the fresh and not bother with a tin, either way. But yeah, I'm going to sign off actually, because it's a Sunday night, so we've got to get up early, get everything packed and get back into civilization and get to work tomorrow. So there'll not be any time for filming in the morning, so yeah. So as ever guys, thanks for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it, and as always I'll catch up with you again in the next one, so cheers.